Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Lorelei Shmayo. This is MeWe, Metaphysics and Wellness Fairs for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have events throughout the Northwest and online, and we interview our practitioners and vendors so you get a chance to know us before you meet us at an event. I'm excited today to interview Dr. Aubrey Wallace. Aubrey, it's lovely to be with you.
Thank you. It's nice to be with you.
So what is it that you do? What do you offer at our events?
So I do medical intuitive readings at the events. I can do some emotional healing stuff at the events as well. I am a naturopathic physician as well, but I don't do that with you guys.
Great. Could you share a little bit more about like medical intuition, what that's like how people might experience that, what kinds of things you address, and you said emotional healing too, and yeah, what does that look like for people?
Absolutely. My system, I use two things. I kind of call it the evolutionary art. But I draw a body map with a full reading of a person's energy field, and then I use the map in order to interpret what's going on for their health. And I also do something called a window of health, which is, it covers 8 factors of health that include infection, like toxicity, allergies, genetics, structural, all sorts of things. And then on the outside of my window, I have some weirdness. I've got ancestry, ancestral patterns, belief structures, and geopathic stressors, larger stressors, and then all of the others. So past life issues, empathy issues, life purpose issues, all those come through on the window of health. So we do, with the reading, we do a map and we do the window of health, and then kind of helps people target in on, they kind of hone in on their health. Right? And they can see a picture of it, a map of it, and they can find what factors are the most likely to get them towards it. So the readings are fun. And I find everybody's got a beautiful pathway to health generally.
Great. I want to kind of go backwards. I know there's one word I didn't understand. There might be others didn't understand too. I'm trying to see what all this might be. And I have a question about the drawings. Did you say geopathic?
Or... Absolutely. Geopathic stressors are things that hit the body caused by actual earth changes or earth issues. Geopathic stress in its original form was actually just a problem with laying on top of a ley line crossing when you sleep. But for me, it's gotten more complicated because I have a lot of empathic people that pick up earth changes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. And then going back to the drawings, is there like a basic drawing structure that you always start with? Are you led intuitively to what you draw? Like, how does that show up?
So each map has its own very detailed map key that I have for myself inside my head, but really I sit down and draw whatever comes. And then we focus on that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it has very specific details that I know, but they're completely unique each time.
Mm-hmm. And then I was going to say, yeah, how does the information show up for you? Like which ways does it arrive?
So I sit in meditation, and I really like paper because I'm an empath, but I don't have to feel everything. So I just I tap in with the meditation, and then my guides give me a very detailed picture, and that way I don't have to even think about the person I'm drawing. I just draw it out, and then when we engage, it makes sense to me too. We kind of discover it together.
And again, I'm just kind of asking, so some of it arrives visually and some of it arrive as knowing, and like whether they're...
Sorry, more specific that way. Yes, it actually, I'm not a strongly visual in my head person. It arrives like art on the page. So I definitely hear words. I definitely feel feelings, and it's more like knowing, cognitive, claircognitive for sure. But the visions there's a flash vision at the beginning, and then the picture creates itself. And then it's a literal vision that I give to someone.
And then, so is it, and then after these arrive, is it dialogue with them? Does any of that change as part of the dialogue, or?
So each color of the map has a meaning for me. For example, like there are 3 types of pink. So this type of pink is feisty love in action, and this type of pink is unconditional love, right? So each aspect goes onto each part of the body or each part of the map. So the maps are very detailed. There's masculine and feminine principles. There's use of power principles. There's grounding, there's family connection, like all these really juicy details help me to know, for you, this is what we're focusing on with this color. And this is what this means to me. What does it mean to you? And what I have found that most people enjoy with the maps is that they can hang them up and use them to remind themselves of their health and remind themselves of where they're going. And they're happy. I mean, almost all the maps, my guides give health, right? They don't give, even if someone's in a really challenging health crisis, the map shows the crisis in a way that helps them get out of the crisis generally. Not like, this is not a breaking you down and making you feel bad process.
Yeah. And it sounds like this is a longer, more involved process. Are there shorter versions that you do with people sometimes at events, or?
Absolutely. So we don't do the maps at events, obviously. I just do the window of health at events. And the way that comes for me is very quick. The window is numbered for me. So my guides will give me auditory guidance with the numbers. So I usually get the 1, 2, or 3 numbers that will be the most influential in getting that person on the path to health.
Great. And how did you get started doing this? You're a naturopath, so part of your way in maybe, but I don't know. Yeah, if you could share a bit more on your journey.
Absolutely. So I'm a 6th generation healer. I come from a bunch of Scottish weirdos that I love and I respect. And I've been doing energy work since I was in my 20s. And I've been a Reiki master since then. So I did many years as a massage therapist. 20. And then I went back to school to become a naturopath, really because I wanted to teach, and I still want to teach. So I feel like doctor means teacher, and that's where I come from with that principle. I feel the naturopathic has been extremely helpful in keeping me balanced. I am the person where my mother said, don't go to naturopathic school, it'll ruin your gift, right? But and it was rough, but I do think when coming through it, I feel like I have a nice balance between the doctor brain, being able to assess and diagnose, and the intuitive integration, and understanding that intuition should always lead in all circumstances, and especially the other person's. So I like for people to intuit their own health, and I will help them do that.
Great. And I guess maybe can you, I'm imagining that you have a way that you support people afterwards in their journey. Just share a little bit more about what that's like.
Absolutely. So the main way I do it is actually to give them the map, and then tell them when the map changes, give me a call. And then I give them the window so that they can go back to their pieces. But I give them guidance on supplements. We give them guidance on all sorts of things. So if it's a past life, I'll refer them to someone who does that. Or if it's an ancestral pattern reading, we can work with ancestral work. So it's really just a guide to get people on the next step so that they can go and take action in the most efficient way for them. Because if they're, spending 90% of their energy on diet, but it's coming from their 8th uncle on the left side, it's not as efficient of use of energy. So that helps them feel more confident in what they are and go forward. And then I also offer IEM membership, which is if they want to take the next leap up, you do 1 map a month and 2 or 3 visits a month. And those people have just absolutely transformed the health. It's the most exciting thing I've ever seen. So that's way more effective than medicine, excuse my French. But that's been my love. And so people that really jump in, take the membership and just kind of spend a journey with me of evolving.
Wow. Great. So if people want to connect with you and learn more, where do they go?
Absolutely. The best way is my website, which is draubreywallace.com. And my office is in Snohomish, the Snohomish Natural Health, if you're looking for me as a naturopathic doctor, but I am doing everything can be found through the website.
Great. And just in case people, I know the name, sometimes I think it's showing up now in the videos, but just in case it's not, could you spell so people can find you?
Sure. It's Dr. Aubrey Wallace, DRAUBREY, WALLACE.com. And we're excited.
That's great. Thank you so much. And for all of you listening and watching, you can find out more about all of our events and practitioners at mewefairs.com. That's MEWEFAIRS.com. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Lorelei.